Hi everybody, good morning. And it's not Friday anymore, it's Saturday. And I just woke up and I look like it, don't I? Anyway, so last week was our quarterly roundup post, and today the story continues. No, what? No, I don't look like I just woke up. I look like I just put makeup on because I'm ready to go out today. Thank you. I have stuff to do. Okay. Let's start it. Are we ready? Okay. Juniper's journal. Waking dreams, familiar faces, and surprise Lughnasadh plans. That night, my belly full of blue moon mush and tender from laughing, I lay in my quilt-covered bed and let my eyelids slide slowly down just a little. I thought back on the day and smiled. As I settled into the feathered down, a sliver of silver waxing moonlight lit my cheek. Some pictures that you'll have to get on and look for yourself, because I'm trying to make this timely. Short. Okay. I awoke to a loud siren and felt a general sense of anxiety and worry. As my eyes adjusted to the early morning light, I found myself in completely foreign surroundings. Instead of my round, cozy cottage bedroom, I was inside a square box of a room with windows that overlooked a busy street. Adorned in the synthetic and crude clothing of the purblind and smelling of sulfate-based shampoos, I walked gingerly into the larger part of the dwelling. There in the center of the room was a shrine that contained a magical, glowing, talking picture box. I averted my eyes as quickly as I could and prayed I was fast enough to avoid being spellbound by its luminance. Groping and stumbling, I found my way inside a glossy, shiny kitchen space with dangling overhead lighting, metal and glass surfaces, and humming machines. I was able to open the tap and fill a tumbler with clear water, which induced a searing, chlorinated burning as it slid down my esophagus. Behind me, a plastic machine beeped, and brown steaming liquid poured into a glass pitcher. Once the smell hit my nose, I recognized it as coffee and hoped it would help my newly raw throat. Catching a glimpse of my face in the mirrored surface of a toasting machine, after tasting the brew, I mused it was curled and furled as one would naturally do if they just ingested liquefied paper paste. I set the mug down and scanned the countertop. There were gossamer plastic bags, brightly colored boxes and cylinders, and a bowl of very shiny apples displayed in the center. Marveling at the uniform shapes and colors of the apples, I remembered it would be several weeks yet for our apples to ripen on the trees. Wait, apple trees? I stepped to the nearest window. A black streak cut through the otherwise gray sand-colored sea of concrete and glass. A man walked by with a dog on a tether and lifted a hand to me in the window. I waved with a little too much enthusiasm, and the man turned his head and quickly quickened his step. My gaze drifted down closer to the structure I was inhabiting, and I noticed a small, sweet patch of viney flower garden, looping heart-shaped leaves like tiny alien arms reaching out to hold someone. Next to the vine patch garden was a small chair, a cushion, and a small reading lamp. A small rectangle on the countertop repeatedly buzzed and glowed with light. I thought I saw a familiar face on the vibrating screen with the name Maggie written atop it before it darkened again. I don't know how long I stood there in the dreamy, indigo-shadowed kitchen, spellbound with amazement, when there was a knock at the door. Fear and panic welled from my feet, and I prepared to launch away from any intruders. "Hello?" A familiar voice came closer into the doorway, and into the doorway stepped a flame-haired, purple-lipstick version of Magnolia. "Mag," my voice trailed off in disbelief. "Jessica, what are you doing? We're going to be late. For our Society of Moss and Lace event. Are you sick? You look like you've just seen a ghost." My mouth gaped in anxious confusion. She stepped closer, reaching out her arms, and grasped my shoulder and shook. Jessica, Juniper." What is it? What's happening? I rubbed my eyes. We're getting married, Magnolia shrieked with smiling eyes. Sorry to wake you, but I haven't slept a wink. Ironroot and I are getting married. And at that she made a little hop. Forgive me, I'm still recovering from the strangest dream I've ever had. You're marrying Ironroot? I asked. On Lughnasadh, Magnolia chirped. So soon? My brows furrowed, and I tried to overcome a look of concern. Are you very certain about this? That's the beauty of it, Junie. It will be a Lughnasadh hand fasting, good for exactly 1 year and a day. Smiling and patting my hand sympathetically. It was true. Lughnasadh was a time of celebration and the first harvest. It was also a time to separate the wheat from the chaff. And so a hand fasting would be considered a trial marriage, and either of the couple could end the arrangement the following year. There is so much to prepare and no time to do it in. Magnolia's excitement was infectious, and I began to daydream of fresh baked bread, fairy festivals, bonfires, gaming, and dancing at dawn. I want you to tell me everything of Ironroot's visit last night, but first, I just had the strangest dream. I feel I should tell you before I forget it. Wide-eyed, I told Magnolia of the unnatural world I found myself in, and of seeing her purblind doppelganger. It was all so real, right down to the smell of the coffee. Do you think it's a kind of message? The Society of Moss and Lace? Magnolia asked contemplatively. I don't know what to think yet. I can't help but feel it was important. I just don't have dreams as vivid as that one was, and I'm tempted to try and fall back asleep out of curiosity. I chuckled and I stood to fold up the blankets on the bed. I'll see you in the changelings for breakfast after this morning's chores, Magnolia's voice disappeared behind a heavy wooden door, and I was left with morning birdsong and racing thoughts. And there's a beautiful song that fits so perfectly, you guys should check out, and also a recipe for a sleeping dream sachet. Guys, for listening to me, and I'm going to try and upload this on YouTube, and I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day.